Hello and welcome to the Sid Gunn Report. I'm Sid Gunn. Tonight, I'm going to be asking the question, what are these so-called liberals? Quote unquote. Huh? Let me tell you, this movement, these liberals, it's been around for years. It just didn't pop up. And the actual definition of the species of a liberal has actually changed quite a bit. Whereas back in, say, the 50s, someone like me who considers himself probably a conservative, but actually I think a lot of my views are liberal compared to the conservatives of way back. But I think that this liberal thing that's been going on is definitely a radicalization. And that's the name of the game. That's what we're talking about here. These people, these liberals, the far left, the alt left, if you want to call them that, they're radicalized, basically. And this type of radicalization is often seen in these organizations like ISIS, and you've got the Communist Party of USA, extreme feminists, violent, combative people.
I don't give a fuck!
I know you don't.
I fucking swear at you because you're being a fucking asshole, and you know what?
And it's even leaked into the Democratic Party, where the Democratic Party is appeasing to these people or pandering to these people. But it's also as though the Democratic Party's not only pandering, but they're instigating.
At the same time, across the country in Arizona, dozens blocked the main road leading to Trump's rally. There were a few arrests, and traffic was snarled for hours.
And this is what I'm talking about. This is a subversion. It's an operation. And I believe this has been going on a while. When you're talking the communists taking over countries like Vietnam, Korea, all that during the Korean War, then the Vietnam War. Okay, we've seen this before. They come in and they take advantage of people that are destitute or feeling down and low. So that's what you got here. You got these millennials who are complete losers, okay? And they got nothing to do but play video games. And then all of a sudden they realize, hey, I spent all this money on college, these college loans, and it means nothing. I actually have to get off my ass and work. Yeah. And so they get sucked into this. So they want the government to be mommy, and pay for everything, take care of them, cuddle them, all that sort of stuff. And they feed, these subversive groups feed on the minds of these kids. They're searching for meaning. They may be, have problems with drugs, with sex. They could be victims of abuse, bullying, all that stuff that gets overblown in the media. And I tell you, it's pretty pathetic. That's all I gotta say. They're you can call them names or whatever, but it's on the verge of sad, I have to say. We often call World War II the greatest generation in the world, but this generation, what is it? What are they going to go down as? The worst? So anyway, I think these reasons is the reasons, the liberal protesters, they have such a problem with our election nowadays. And the celebrities, Hollywood, boy, they suck right into it. They're the same way. A lot of them are millennials, these young stars. Who cares about the old has-beens? But, they have this communist mindset. And, there were such they're radicalized, that they want to remove a fair and balanced, or a democratic election, and move the United States into more of a democratic dictatorship. That's what we're looking at here. That's if they had their way. I mean, it's ironic, but it is alarming. And I think everybody who are of this persuasion, shall we say, needs to take note and needs to, there's got to be a big movement here in this country, to fight this. Insurgency is what it is. And so it's this subversion, this system, it's growing like a cancer, in America, And you could say, well, George Soros, this, that guy, he's a globalist, no doubt. But I guarantee you that there's a thin line between communists and globalists in my book. And I even wonder, the origins of the Communist Party, was it actually, in a way, it was a globalist movement where they want to just take over, one government takes over the entire world. I mean, that's what it is when you look at it. And what's George Soros get out of this? Money? I mean, he's too old to really enjoy it. I think he wants to have a statue, in Town Square, the capital of the world, with him raising his hand up like Lenin or whoever, I mean, you want a statue of George Soros, that ugly frog-looking guy, in your house that you've got to salute to and pay homage to, or else, you're going to get thrown in prison or fed to hungry dogs? No, of course not. This is America, And Americans, we do American things, and we've been that way ever since. We're a free people, and it should always stay that way. So anyway, it makes no difference what you say, or if you voice a different opinion to these people. If you're not spewing the same rhetoric or mantra, as they call it, this is my mantra, I hate that, as these radical cookie cutter liberals, if you're not programmed to say exactly what they say, then you, my friend, are the enemy. You're their enemy. And how do they fight that? What do they do? Well, they publicly shame you on social media or wherever. If you're out in public, you can't wear a support my president shirt or whatever, people are afraid, and you'll get viciously attacked, called slanderous names like a racist, a Nazi, a fascist. The list goes on and on. So that's my report. Just something to think about, a couple of little tidbits to think about, okay? What we're dealing with here is a communist invasion, basically. It's an invasion of the mind, okay? And we, as free Americans, need to stick together. And we need to battle this, and if we have to spank these little millennials and put them in their place, and that's what we're going to have to do.
Now you're going to get your comeuppance. Thanks. My father would be proud of you. And I'll make you prouder.
I'm Sid Gunn, and please, if you are of this persuasion, click subscribe, give me a thumbs up. I appreciate it. Share it on your social networks. I hope that I can continue to bring reports that are engaging, thought-provoking, and that sort of thing, because that's what America's all about. I'm Sid Gunn. Thank you, and have a very good night.